last minute set decoration. It's all too dark. Too dark. Good evening, Tama. Excuse me. Tama Ningina Priestess Heart 108. I don't think I said your second name. I got the Tamu and the Princess right. Oh, there's 3 people already. Greetings. I was going to change round my stuff because you can't see any of my pretty candles or the flowers that I bought today. I'm a natural set design. Hey, Robin, Michelle, excellent. 3 women. It's like Macbeth. What say thee, sages? Tamungina. Tamgungina. I like already as well, thank you very much. Bang the gong a little bit. Because I've been so tired, we're working so much that, you know, this famous structured show that's, thank you. I'm glad I'll know it next time. Tamu Nagina, Priestess Heart 108. Very good show. I only catch a little bit. I've been so busy lately. I haven't been watching anybody's streams. I've hardly been in anybody's chats. But I really had to scale back the social media because I was crazy for it. I was staying up like till 4 in the morning pretty much every night, and then having to start work at 8 in the morning, and it was just crazy. So I am pleased to report that I think this being sort of, it feels like I'm halfway through this grade, and the energies seem to be settling down a bit, because, you know, it's only been 3, well, since the summer solstice really, but it was before that. It was the famous mushroom trip that led to that Saroth the Mage revelation, and that's only been beginning of middle of June till now, and it seems like a huge span of time. It seems like so much has happened, and so much has happened, so many good things as well, all good things pretty much. There's been turbulence with the planetary forces. I blame the planets, people. It's not us. We're not bickering. So, what to talk about tonight? I've done pages of notes, but I can't really find a theme. So I've got lots of little bits as usual. So please chat, feel free to chat amongst yourselves. So I was thinking, somebody mentioned initiation the other night. I believe it was Dark Lord Reamsey, bless him. And I was going to do a show, what is initiation, you know? Well, life's your first, birth is your first initiation, and then we all share 2, birth and death. But I guess the ones in the middle vary from culture to culture, and from, of course, massively in the de-spiritualized Western world that we now sadly live in. We have to go through our own personal initiations, and they're not always planned, and they're not always positive. Giving birth is definitely an initiation, yes. Oh gosh, I can imagine. I'm seeing a beautiful woman just now who's had 2 children, and I have much respect for all mothers who, you know, conscious mothers, because I don't want to go into politics again, but there is a neglect and stuff leads to, you know, it's just generational, and it's a good person who raises good children is absolutely invaluable to the future of the human race, isn't it? So, initiations, magical initiations, are a very good way of marking 3 are growing. You've got more than 3, wow. Respect. That's for the 3, and maybe one more. Blessings to them all, and to all your family, Robin, and to all your family, Michelle. From me and mine. And little Frank over here, who tonight is having mint tea with me. Yeah, I've purged alcohol from my diet for at least till the end of this whole month. I'm not drinking for the whole of September, because I was actually, I didn't notice it at the time because I'm so fixated on my other addictions, but I was getting stressed out at work. I was coming home, having a couple of beers, sometimes 3, and then you don't get drunk, and you know, but it takes its toll eventually, and then you end up, last Wednesday, I confess, Shadow Steve was out again, Shadow Saroth, I should say. But I've been thinking about pre-Saroth me as well tonight. It's been a very, I had to stream tonight, you see, because I just don't have any more time off. So I just thought, damn it, I'll just go on and just speak nonsense as usual, and I'll speak nonsense as usual. So yeah, what was I going to say there again? So we started on initiations, then I was waiting to start on something else. If anybody, I'm kind of tired and a little bit low energy tonight, but it's in a nice, balanced, relaxed way. I've done 2 sets of rituals after I was on a sleepover last night, so I did them about lunchtime. Then I tried to have a nap, but I was restless, and I had a pretty fair feeling I was going to stream tonight, so I'm desperately trying to think of ideas, the unifying concept of everything. But of course, it never comes. You do get moments of clarity like that. I Ching, getting the I Ching that 2 nights in a row with the same moving lines. Tamu, you'll know about the I Ching, and that was freaky. Getting this too, that was a big like and there's been a lot of stuff coming through about like holy guardian angel. It's not just it's like conversations you have with people, things you just because I'm the type of person I can't focus on one book at a time, so I'll be reading like 3 books and listening to a podcast while I'm doing something else, so there's like input all the time, and it allows for synchronicities to happen. Like a small one today was, what was it? I'll consult my notes. Oh gosh, yeah, because the what's beautiful about the yin and the yang is there's always a spot of, you know, the 2 dualities. So it's saying that nothing is ever. It's the same with the magic and the Golden Dawn systems. There's never. It's not a duality. It's a unity, because you can never have one with one opposing force without having a little bit of the other one, even if it's a tiny bit. It's all well. This is my oak tree. It's still growing very healthily. An oak tree grown from a magic forest in Scotland. Yeah, see, forgot my point again. Yes, the light and the dark. Yeah, so it is the wholeness of the mystical union, and it's never one thing or the other. You know, black and white thinking is rigid and silly. One thing about Saroth is he's always open to changing his mind about stuff. If I get data that disproves something, I'll go back and think, okay, I was totally wrong there, and I've got no problem with it, because if you're not attached to an ideology, you don't have an axe to grind. You know, you're not trying to come at everything from a preconceived angle of, oh yes, that fits my theory, or that fits my theory. And it's the air grade, so I let myself get blown around by the wind and by the forces of the telluric currents of Mother Earth and Father Sky and Sister River and all that stuff. So what else have I been thinking about? Mushrooms, obviously. I always think about mushrooms, but we don't have to talk about them just right yet. I was also thinking about the first lodge that I was in was actually the Horus Mat Lodge on Facebook. Oh, Oswald, thank you. Can you see them? Oh yeah, you can. You made I was watching CW, of course, and you made an interesting. Well, we always make interesting comments, but there was something in it was like, oh, I almost wrote it down, but I can't be writing other people's chat down, can I? So good to see you, Oswald. Excellent. How many people are in? 5 in. Yes. Keep going, babies. So yeah, the Horus Mat thing is, Crowley has his Aeon of Horus, which is, you can't deny it. Whatever you say about Crowley, you can't deny that he did pretty much sense the world turn. But anybody, I suppose, with a bit of insight, could have seen that the industrialized world was heading towards a crisis. But, I mean, what crisis the 20th century wasn't it? Crisis after crisis after crisis. So hopefully in this new century, with these new technologies and with these new ways of making friends with people in other countries and other cultures, because some cultures aren't open, but it will change, just like the Berlin Wall came down because of pressure from within, that it was the people's, that was I think a pure people's movement, although the government's relaxed enough to let it happen. And I can see good things for this century if we don't fuck it up. So there was a woman called Nima Anachandra, and Magic was her book. I sometimes pronounce her second name wrong, but she was like a Thelamite. Yeah, it was very. When was it? I was in my late teens. So I didn't really get just how important it was at the time, but yeah, it was huge. And then you get a reunified Germany and crazy days. But that's the one thing that's always true, is that it's just constant change, and it's never like if you can think you can predict the future, you can't. I think it was 1991. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Yeah. Where were you when the wall came down? And didn't Pink Floyd play The Wall at the Wall? And apparently a big, the glasnost and all that in Russia, the Beatles were absolutely huge in Russia. John Lennon was like almost like a political figure over there. And it was like a velvet revolution, wasn't it? Nobody got heat, nobody got hurt. So Mat, the idea of the Aeon of Mat kind of running concurrently with the Aeon of Horus was one of Crowley's buddies. I think it might have been like George Cecil Jones or something like that, Frater Achad. And he, Kabbalistically, he was a genius Kabbalist apparently. Where are you, Oswald? God, you're a young man. You want to swap? No, I wouldn't swap, actually. I've always said that. I would never swap my life with anybody's, no matter how bad mine got, because I wouldn't like to live in anyone else's head but mine. I'm quite comfortable here. So Mat is a balancing, she's the goddess of peace, justice. She's a very profound goddess. Middle Ages ace. I didn't even start to get my shit together till I was about 40. In my 20s I was totally getting lost. In my 30s I was even more lost. I'd gone right up the blind alley into a whole network, and funnily enough that was reflected in my dreams, because and William Burroughs describes this weird world as well. I think he calls it the land of the dead, and I was having exactly it might be a opiate thing, but all my dreams were always like all these weird interconnected rooms, and you'd always be with groups of people, kind of dim figures from your past. Your school would suddenly be joined to your living room in your old house, which would be, the old it was very strange and somewhat dark times. One thing that got me thinking about William Burroughs, I also wrote, I'm sure the first lines to Naked Lunch are, I awoke from the sickness at the age of 45 or something, and he's talking about, yay, esoteric, yes. Love when I got my buddies in the house. So we've got Robin, esoteric. Oh God, see my memory's so bad tonight. Tamu, Michelle, Who just came in? Oswald. Excellent, brilliant. Moderators, you just keep, you just talk nice to people and I'll just talk nice over here. See, I'm shattered. Yeah, so Matt is a stabilising influence on Horus, which at the time seemed perfectly sensible because I guess we didn't want it to be the aeon of horror and war and the crowned and conquering child. It was all a bit fucking solar for me. And generally in magic, males are solar, lunars are females are lunar, but of course there's always exceptions because it's always white and the black and black and the white, the negative and the positive and the positive and the negative. But yeah, no duality. If you take one thing away from this beautiful sermon tonight, it's there is no such thing as duality. Everything is whole somehow, but don't ask me why. So I joined the Horus Matt Facebook page and loved it, and but it was a Facebook page, you see. There's not actually much going on in terms of it. They didn't give out rituals or anything like that, but they did encourage me to do the Horus Matt initiation, which is part of the theme of the thing. That's going to be one of my tags, initiation. See, I could do really, honestly, some of the videos I'm watching at the moment are just so ordinary, just some angry dude doing the Star Ruby, blast it, you know, no style at all, and it's got like thousands of views. So if I don't want to be like that. I want to be small and culty, not a cult of personality, but a cult of meaning. Yeah, and I loved it, but I actually ended up. Now this is something that has almost been my conscience, and I feel the need to confess online because you are my analyst. You people and you unwitting analysts, you, and you're also, somebody made a funny comment that came back to me today. I was talking about how I rant and rave at the walls when I'm on mushrooms and try and figure myself out, and somebody said, "Where are your mushrooms?" And I didn't get it at the time, but I was thinking, oh yeah, because I rant and rave and shake, just to talk to you like I do in the mushrooms, to myself, but in kind of weird cyber company. And it's just yeah, it's the same. You're sitting in a room with people you can't see who are somehow communicating weird language to you. Nice analogy, whoever wrote that. I think it was Darcy or Amanda, actually. I was thinking about ISIS. Of course, I always think about ISIS. That's a brilliant Bob Dylan song, of course. I've been listening to a lot of philosophy lately. I've kind of burned all the magic stuff out, all the good stuff, all the recent stuff. I like ultra cult. What's it called again? Occulture. It's good, but it's broad. It had a really good Swedish guy on. I can't remember the name of, and he was talking about Nietzsche and just how self-transformational. Because I'd always stayed away from philosophy. I did English at uni because I really loved literature, but philosophy now, I wish I could go back and do philosophy. It'd be fascinating because I didn't realise it had so many practical aspects, you know. I think part of the problem was the one book that I started on was like Nietzsche's most far out, freaky, crazy book, which he wrote about a week before he went insane. Maybe not a week, but judging by the book, it wasn't long, and I didn't really know that. So it does, you know, that's not his best work, but some of that Thus Spoke Zarathustra and all that is very profound, but it's, as somebody also said, it's dangerous because, you know, it does posit this idea of an elite, like sort of rationalist, they were great, but I haven't studied philosophy. The closest we got to it was literary theory, which was littered with the likes of Derrida and Foucault and all those very abstract-y kind of, I mean, some of it was good. I like Deleuze and Guattari. Their rhizome theory was very interesting. See, honest to God, peppermint tea. What's come over me? I have gone on a major health kick this week because and I bought dates and all kinds of stuff. I'm a healthy mage. Bong. Bum. Yeah, peppermint's my favourite with a little squirt of runny honey. And it just seems to cleanse me right out. I didn't mean it like that. Well, I guess I did. I guess it did. Your urine runs very clear on this stuff. I've read of him, and I know, what I know about Gurdjieff is he was said to have thrown Crowley out of his sort of clinic or whatever he had when Crowley went to him to try and get off a heroin habit. I think it's a true story that he did go, but I've heard that Gurdjieff threw him out after one day, saying he was filthy, a filthy human being. The anti-Crowley lobby used that one against him quite a lot, but I'm not sure if that's quite true. And yeah, totally, yeah. Apparently Gurdjieff hated Crowley because he was all dirty with his sex magic and that, but after totally going off Crowley for the same reasons as many people don't like him, he took things a little bit far in his personal life, but his literary production is amazing, and his magical system is brilliant as well. So when do you like William Burroughs was hardly a paragon of virtue either, very few of my favourite artists are, in fact most of them are absolute maniacs. I mean, Nietzsche went stark raving mad. Crowley, he arguably did go downhill. I mean, everybody goes downhill at the end of their life, but he wasn't like the emperor of the world like he'd maybe wanted to be at some point. But, oh yeah, the final initiation, yeah. Back to initiation, the final initiation is, of course, dum 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 dum. Death. Ever present. But if you're into a path of magic or self-transformation in any way, you've just got to deal with this inbuilt fear, natural fear we all have of death. And I had it big time last summer. I actually thought I was dying. I could feel myself getting older. I could feel every cell in my body wither and die. But of course it was all in my head, because after that came the psilocybin rebirth. And I'm thinking now, because I've been studying, people that haven't watched the channel, I started off a very psychological model of magic, and I was kind of skeptically gonna do the Golden Dawn because I feel like I'd gone so far in the kind of new age woolly direction that I stopped all magic for about 2 years and just focused on getting a toehold in this job that I do, which I love and I need. But after the getting involved with kind of YouTubers, joining in chats, I had a really profound experience on psilocybin. I think the really profound one was before the summer solstice, and then there was a couple of follow-ups pretty soon after that. It was a transformational time, that month or so. I opened up to magic again, I started practicing, and of course everything is immediately thrown into chaos. I'd done the Zealot grade, but I'd stopped, and I'd started the Theoricus grade, and it was just too much for me at that time. I wasn't ready, it was too spacey, I was like manic, but I am still manic, but I'm focusing it a lot better by studying and meditating and practicing and using tarot and I Ching, just filling up my time with creative things, Never sit on the settee watching TV. I'm either at work, asleep, or studying, or even talking to someone, We spend too much time in front of those idiot boxes, so switch them off, destroy them. It's an old message, but a good one. Oh, and guys, I forgot the most exciting thing of all. Can you read that properly, or is that... Oh, no, damn it, it's backwards again. I had that fixed. It's obviously YouTube that are doing this terrible reversing thing to me. I don't notice it in anybody else's video. If anybody knows why it does that, it's mirroring, and I thought I had it sorted, see? That is backwards, isn't it? Yeah, it's me Theoricus meditation. I do them in idiot sheets so that I don't forget. No, I'm on a Samsung Galaxy. It's my last laptop was just. Well, I can't believe it, but I did have a MacBook Pro, and it was actually given to me by a friend that I met on a Facebook, on the Thoth Facebook group. But because I wasn't using it to its potential, it was just basically getting used for nothing because I wasn't studying. I was sleeping all the time. I think I was on a more Suboxone and more diazepam, and I was just working and just chung. Yeah, well, this is it. I'm not a great journal keeper, so I did actually think, oh, these videos will be my my magical journal. That was a bit naive because, you know, after all my waffling, trying to find the one specific bit that, hey, names policy, would you believe this man? I hope he is a man. Well, I don't mind if he isn't. I'm meeting him tomorrow in Aberdeen for a couple of beers in the evening, and I'm going to take him to my favourite eatery, a lovely place called Cafe 52 at the Green. It's a lovely little cobbled bit. The old bits of Aberdeen are absolutely gorgeous, and I encourage you all to visit. And I might get some money from the tourist board or something. Sepherot, the mage tourist industry. Yeah, I'm the same. So I'm not very organised, although I am more organised than I've ever been before. These are all everything I need for my daily rituals, meditation, body. Didn't yet see that. That's all there. I'm up to the Hasmalim, which is Jupiter, which is my left shoulder. Oh, and I also did these today, just for something to do. These are like the Ishmael, the planetary spirit, this sigil here. And then we've got Jophiel, the planetary ruler, is it? Intelligence, yeah. And then we've got Zadkiel, the planetary archangel. See, unfortunately they're all reversed, of course. Damn it! I really thought I'd got that sorted out. Invoking and banishing Saturn. Daily formula. See, that's quite a lot. Circular breath, Cuba space, lesser banishing, banishing ritual hexagram, invoke 4 powers of air every day, middle pillar, body and Yetzirah, Theoricus meditation, and then it says to banish air, but I don't banish air, and I don't do the laser banishing at the end. I just let the energies run wild. And I also invoked the moon tonight because it was just before midnight in Scotland. So I did the moon just before it was too late because I've been lazy and unmotivated, and why not? I work hard for a living, like I keep on saying, but I mean it's a new thing for me, all this. I've only been sort of in full-time employment for about 2.5 years now. Sorry, I shouldn't be covering my mouth with the mug. But that's keeping it real, isn't it? You'll get no production values here. Well, I think all magic is about letting things go. That seems, well, in the outer grades anyway, it's all about, like Zelatar is your earth, so it's your physical body, possessions, people, relationships. That's all your earthy stuff. So you have to clear a lot of that out because, you know, a lot of negative stuff just builds in us without us even doing it ourselves. It's like the outside world dumps shit on us all the time. So like the laser banishing and stuff like that is perfect for keeping all that shit out, and you can also build a little, I use the middle pillar to kind of this as well. So I've heard some people call it an Akashic egg, but I don't know why it would be called an Akashic egg. Maybe I've picked that up wrong, but I just call it like an energy shield. Whoa, just put a burnt finger on the candle there. It's an energy shield, and you can totally build one if you're in tune with your Hecate she's a crazy dog loving woman but we all love her, the practices of the dark arts. She is one of our patron goddesses, after all. And all my stuff is lunar at the moment because I'm in the sphere of Yesod. That's the grade. The next one will be, what will it be? Philosophus. And I guess I'll be in, I'll be in Hod. No, it's Practicus. It's water anyway, it's the next one. There's my tree of life but it's getting them. But you're advised to get like loads of them because you just can't even read any of this stuff anymore. But it's nice. Wouldn't mind getting all this stuff framed eventually. When I've been practicing for 30 years and can levitate freely and teleport anywhere, and some people could say, because shadow work can also be like a healing work because it exercises your demons in a very active way. But yeah, everybody needs healing. But the best healing is the love of a warm, living body. I stress living because the love of a body, See, it's that serial killer thing again. You listen to the last podcast on the left and you're never the same again. I think everybody's a serial killer now. It's an unfortunate side effect. Small steps is absolutely. In fact, I even thought of that very phrase, Robin, before you said that. Because I thought, oh God, yet another stream where you don't have any great big ideas and you're not launching a new something or other current. You're just plodding along, and I am plodding along, but I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I've met a lot of beautiful, very groovy people. So Chesed, the sphere that I'm doing the body in, see, when I did the Zealot grade, my music stopped. When I was doing the Zealot grade, I didn't notice these little nuances that I'm noticing now. And it was the active rituals, the pentagrams and the hexagrams that I really got I felt like they were working. But I was never quite sure if the middle pillar or the body in Yetzirah. It's just a meditation and an exercise. As soon as the hexagrams and pentagrams are over, I put my wand and my dagger in their little sheaths that I made for them. Well, I made one for the wand and wrap them up in this attractive thing. I never used to bother with things like that, but they seem important now because the more you make it sacred, the more it becomes sacred. That's a big thing in magic as well, but I subscribe to all theories now because it's neither one thing or the other, it's a little bit of both all the time. Hey, Seven Serpents! Oh, you're at work, but never mind, at least you're listening. Seven Serpents is one of the best podcasters on magic out there, and he's so steady. I learn a lot from that man. And of course, if I'm going to mention Seven Serpents, I'll mention Grey Wolf Norse Shaman, because I just love Seven Serpents and his are the two magical shows that I never miss. And then, I never miss those guys. And it's good to see them all doing so well and moving forward. It's brilliant, actually. It's like a weird sort of collection of people you'd never think would meet in real life or anything like that, but it's good. It's like comradeship. So, like I say, when I was doing it, I was waiting for that thing. I was thinking, is it going to be the Nietzsche Crowley thing? Because I realised how close, or how Crowley couldn't have really existed if it hadn't been for Nietzsche's ideas about the slave. He kind of had I think he called it aristocratic nihilism, where he saw very much like a philosopher king sort of class, and then just the rest of humanity and his superman, and you know what I mean. Nietzsche and Crowley, or you mean Grey Wolf and Seven Serpents, of course. But I'm sure you are. Yeah, well, there you go. It's nice that we all friends like that. See, forgotten again. Must not look in chat. Yeah. So Nietzsche was a huge influence on Crowley, but I mean, Crowley admitted that himself. And his, you know, what I never liked about Thelema was actually the Book of Law itself, because there's a few lines that I just think, oh no, it's that fucking elitist sort of. But magic is, whether we like it or not, it is kind of elitist because it's kind of hard to follow a lot of it. So, you know, it's not for every man. But Crowley did say, oh, and perhaps jokingly, you never know with Crowley, do you? It's for every man, the butcher, the boxer, but he really meant Thelemites and people as clever as him, or nobody as clever as him, of course, good Lord. Lord Crowley, nobody as clever as you. I'm joking, by the way. Everybody's as clever as him, because every man and woman is a star. And that was his whole thing, but by deifying him, you're defying the whole point of, you know, because there are some people that absolutely worship him and want to be him and actually kind of think they are him. And you shouldn't be that. That's I've said this before, but it's your own path, and you do have to really follow your own path. That's why sometimes it may seem to people that I'm being you are not Robin. You don't freeload. You contribute much. Hey, Brosif. Excellent. 12 people. That's amazing. Thank you all. I can see you all sitting with your phones on private jets and hotel rooms and glamorous sort of sleazy bars watching Saroth. How amazing is that? A wee laddie from Aberdeen. I'll be getting in the paper next, the Aberdeen. Saroth got 3 likes on Saturday night. He's the biggest magical star we've ever had. So, yeah, a lot of Nietzsche's absolutely fascinating. Crowley has the best collection for people who know what. I would say so. I really would. After working through the Golden Dawn stuff, I can see its limitations, and I can see that Crowley's stuff, although the Star Rubian stuff, there are, I wish I could make, that was actually my intention at the start, was to make my whole, build it from the ground up, obviously keep the pentagrams and the hexagrams, but change all that, and I actually tried to do it in a thing that I wrote for, oh nice. Yeah, it's just an Om chant, everybody likes that. Hey, Alistair, welcome. So we've got, we had Oswald, Alistair, Tamu, Michelle, Robin, Brosif. Anybody else I'm forgetting? Brilliant show. I mean, brilliant show, not my show, but good show, chaps, as we say in Britain. Good show. And then I was thinking about, you know, all this philosophical stuff. They're really, what philosophers do is they build their own models of, like magicians. And Nietzsche was he was all about self-transformation. So he was really, Franz Barden, yeah, I've never actually, the stuff I've read requires so much focus and real work that's kind of put me off. Isn't he really about mentalism and, I may be getting mixed up with somebody else, but you know, there's a limit to how much time I've got, you know. I feel like I'm on a tight schedule, so I've got to do high impact, fast stuff all the time, but hopefully that's an effect of the air grade as well. Which book? Or does it? Well, you know, I've got a hell of a reading list already that comes with this Golden Dawn curriculum, and then I'm trying to fit in other stuff. But YouTube, I tell you, thank the gods for YouTube. Thank Thosis for YouTube. I was also thinking, is Thosis my holy guardian angel? Have I just kind of... No, I don't think so. I think Thosis is just what we kind of... Did we make him, or did she make us? That's a tricky one. It doesn't really matter. The effect is the same. That's why if you're limited by the psychological model, just start imagining that spirits are real and they become real. It's like the double slit experiment. Everything you do seems to confirm the model that you're trying to prove. It's very malleable, this magic stuff. And it does, like I say, it seems to cause like an aura of synchronicity around you. So you're following these little clues, which is another thing I like about it, because your study can almost be interesting, like detective work. Just noticed that camera it's showing me drawers. It should be over here. Oh, never mind. I never set this place up right, you know that? So the camera's always much wider than I expect. So, yeah, we've done I've got a whole other page over here, but I'm not going to, oh my god, have I been going for 40 minutes already? This happens every single time. I saw spirits as a child, not apparitions, almost, this is something I was thinking of, because I didn't, I wished I could have. I never saw a ghost as a child. I had strange recurring nightmares that maybe I think now are relevant, but I had no. Hey, Moses. Excellent. 13 people in on a, what is it, Monday? Is it Monday? See, I never know because two go already? Mind you, I have been muttering on for quite a while now. I love chocolate, esoteric. I'm glad you like it. In fact, I could handle some chocolate now, but I bought dates and other things that I'm not so keen on. Squashy yellow things. I was trying to be as you know, I'm on my health kick. Oh, somebody was mentioning Labour Day. Yes, Labour Day. I don't know what it means. You all celebrate Labour? Something to do with the war? I'm a bit ignorant when it comes to America. Well, not that ignorant, you know. You can't be ignorant of America. It's the Roman Empire. It's the new Rome. Yeah, no, I totally imagine it being a nightmare, and maybe, you know, because I moved around a lot as a kid, and my dad drank himself to death, so maybe I, for a while, thought I might be in danger of being bullied because I was always the new kid, so I constructed a very, I didn't let much in. But then it all relaxed, and when I got to secondary school, luckily, thank God, I thank God for this every day, that I did finally meet a bunch of young people who kind of did understand me, and most spiritual people had a dreadful time at what you would call high school or secondary school in Britain. And I had a great time. I met this girl, Jackie, and we were together all through school, and it does sound like, it will be. May Day is like, it's kind of a socialist holiday, isn't it? Yeah. But it's also an ancient pagan holiday, of course. More importantly, that's what the conspiracy theorists say, isn't it? That they do these marches on occult holidays to suck all the power out of them and then give them to the lizards. And are people still talking about reptiles, by the way? Because I used to listen to a lot more of that sort of stuff just for silly entertainment. I didn't believe a word of it, of course. Or some of it, I did slightly believe, but reptiles and all that, never. I do think the royal family are seriously sick in the head, so there's something very far wrong with that family. I've got another page, but I'm starting to feel myself winding down, but I'll try to go on for a little bit more. So when I was in my meditation, like I said, just the energy, maybe I need to be, sometimes you need something to kick against, and I've just been too happy and content. I had a lovely weekend with Solar Stardust. Oh God, RH negative. RH negative is a very unusual blood type. But silliness, I don't believe in reptiles at all. We've all got reptile brains in us, That's another one of the things I keep saying, that the worst thing you're ever going to meet is your inner demons. I mean, there are spirits who have been called demons, but I don't even think they're called demons. I think that's a Christian classification, because if there were demons from hell, they wouldn't work with human beings in the huge centuries old tradition of grimoire magic and even like necromancy and stuff. You know, nothing should be off limits as long as it's, you know, legal and consenting adults and all that. Of course, we learn from demons, and demons is a even better spelling because it removes that Christian idea that Satan and his hordes of evil horror film beings are just and they spitting blood and all that. But it's not. Demons are fractured, injured parts of yourself usually, or the ones that I've encountered using the psychological model. But then yeah, because they are the ones I've experienced have been. Some of the ones I've met on psilocybin, I felt they were from outside me, but somewhere in the collective unconscious, or somewhere, or maybe there is a very, very I mean, there is the astral plane, of course, but I don't think that's strictly where you go when you're on mushrooms either. It's all like different universes, honestly. It's so complicated, and that's why there's so many, you know, theories. I mean, how many occult theories and models do we have? There's so many, because for every person it's different. So I really do think that the magician or the shaman or the healer, and I'm not saying this in the masculine, I'm just everybody, men and women, because I'm always 50-50. Oh, I was going to say something inspiring there and I forgot it. We've just got to go through our demons. Yeah, we've got to create our own systems of magic for ourselves, basically. Using tradition and respecting tradition, because that's something that's come to me recently. I never used to be much of a respecter of traditions, a bit of an iconoclast, or you could say a bit of a nihilist. That wasn't really at heart. That was just young men put on these hard fronts, but inside we're just little teddy bears. Well, I'll finish off because I'll try and go for an hour. This is the Wheel of Fortune card, and I picked it today because it represents the sphere of Chesed that I'm working in at the moment. Pretty much finished. I might do one more day. It says for you to do 7 days on each sphere, but I will keep going with a sphere after 7 days if I felt I haven't absorbed the energies of that planet and all the stuff that goes with it. You know, there's pages and pages and pages of correspondences for, you know, for Jupiter or for Chesed, and this is one of them, because this is ruled by Jupiter. It's number 10. It's the Wheel of Fortune, and it's all about electricity. This is a really this could be digital technology for me as well. It's got a 0 and a 1 because it's number 10. It's also got the 0, and there's lots of ones, isn't there? And I read an interesting book, an interesting little passage in the Book of Thoth where he was kind of correcting this card and saying it was actually a lamb with a flag, which you see in the Emperor card, I remember, and a wolf and a raven. And there's a beautiful thing about, I think I might go out with this one, guys. There's lots of stuff I haven't mentioned yet. Oh yeah, in my meditation today it said, wait till dark, invoke the moon, and stream tonight. So that's what I did. So Crowley changed these 3 cards. I think might have been from the Vision and the Voice. You know, I read things quick and I don't always take them in. So that's a beautiful tarot card there. And these 3 creatures are like the Sphinx up there, some kind of weird reptile, funnily enough, down there, and that's kind of like a monkey. Yeah. Sorry. See what happens? They fade away so quickly. It's not like when you're watching it back and you can see all the questions or statements. So anything over about 3 or 4 lines, I'm always too slow. So fortune, but he changed the creatures to the lamb, the wolf, and the raven, and I thought that was a really beautiful vision. He said that the wolf was the lust of the body. Yes, it is the Thoth deck. Yeah, I think it's probably the best Western magical deck there is. Although I really like the Golden Dawn one. Rider Waite, it's a classic, but it's just a bit traditional. I'm not a very traditional guy, so he changed it to the Lamb and the Flag was a very complex sort of antichrist figure. Very interesting. I should really put these little things in notes and stuff at the bottom of the page, but who's going to read them anyway? I'm telling you about them, you don't have to read them. The wolf was bodily lust, and the raven was like melancholy. And it was like he was being told, it was in a vision. It sounded, he talked about Aether, so he was maybe doing an Enochian vision or something, Crowley was. And this vision came to him of this fortune card. And the way he was talking about the lamb, it was like a spiritual deceiver, but with a lamb, and it was like, oh, because my eyes will be gentle, no one will suspect me, and my teeth are not for rending flesh, so no one will, so it was like a false messiah and an antichrist. It was very, very interesting. And then I was listening to, I've got True World Theory, but we ain't going to go into that. And then my closing, overcoming circumstances, yes. Oh yes, about breaking the wheel of addiction, and also breaking the wheel of the sort of monkey mind, and then breaking the wheel of the reptilian, the one that only wants food, sex, and beer, and heroin. And then, funnily enough, mentioning heroin, I'm going to go out with, my addiction is forcing me to meet my holy guardian angel and rock and roll. But I like rock and roll. And some drugs are okay. The lesser sacrament and the greater sacrament are what Saroth the Mage prescribes for everyone, but in moderation all times, and keep it sacred. So I think that'll do for tonight. Thank you so much, guys, for sitting in. I never have a theme. I just ramble on. Okay, thank you, guys. Drugs, angels, and rock and roll is the most beautiful expression to go out on tonight. Thank you, Tamu. It's an honor having you. You are also beloved to me, dear woman. Thank you, Esoteric. Have a great night yourself. Thank you, Alistair. Good rambling. Yep. Thank you, Robin. Lovely to see you. And thank you for being my moderator. You're excellent. Thank you, Oswald. See you around, baby. I love you, and I love you all, of course. The moderators I love most of all. In fact, no, I love them, the people that aren't moderators more than the moderators, because they deserve it. Okay, thank you. Love and blessings. Hey, and I haven't smoked tobacco once the whole night, so I'll have to. It's my trademark. Right, good night, everyone. Blessings and greetings and salutations and joy and love and productivity, creativity. Make your own system. Love you. Over and out. Saroth Mage. Peace.